get ready for the show.
Welcome to the show. My name is Liz, and every other Sunday morning I have a casual chat with one of your favorite YouTubers, and today is no exception because in a few minutes we are going to be talking to Leon from ZARRPS Metal Detecting in South Africa. Now, if that is something that gets you all warm and excited, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do, you got to hit the notification bell and you got to tell YouTube that you want to be advised whenever I go live or upload a video. So right on, everybody collectively, everyone collectively, let's all take a second and a half, hit the like button on this stream. It not only helps the stream to rank a little bit higher, but just one day, we might be suggested on someone's homepage, and how cool would that be? That would be like beyond coolness. So right on. As I do every live stream, I need to say hello to each and every one of you, because if you weren't out there, I wouldn't be here. And if I was here, I would just like be talking to nobody. So that's no fun. So let me scroll up on the chat and say hello to you all. Steve Shepard was the very first person in the chat this morning. Steve, thank you so very much for joining. Treasure Talk, Jeff was in the house. He is headed to the beach to do some metal detecting. So Jeff, good luck. I hope you find some pirate treasure. Brad Welch in the house from the land down under. Brad, thank you so much for joining me. It's like tomorrow night. Is it tomorrow night there? Or tonight there? I think it's tonight there. Oh my goodness. PA Relic Hunters, thank you very much for joining. I do appreciate that. We are also joined by the Las Vegas Urban Treasure Hunters. My goodness. Hello and welcome to the stream. Wonderful that you are here. American Woodland Relics in the house. They had a live stream yesterday where they were sampling some candy from the 1970s. And oh my goodness, did I ever get flashbacks. Wonderful. If you've not seen that, definitely check it out. That was a great live stream. My friend Leon from ZARRPS is also in the chat already talking to you all. So definitely chat Brad up, or sorry, chat Leon up. That would be wonderful. Brad Welch, yes, is in the chat as well. For some reason, I just saw his name and I mentioned his name. Oh my goodness. Weird Guy in the park is with us as well this morning. Alabama Dirt Digger here. Right on. 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗬𝗪𝗡𝗏 also in the house. Jack Aventurera. Bom dia, Jack. And obrigada por ter vindo o meu live stream hoje. Muito abraços por você. Right on. That's Portuguese. Right on. Who else is in my house? My goodness. Always nice to speak a little bit of Portuguese every now and then. Wonderful. I still haven't forgot it, which is a good thing. The Malaysia Metal Detector in the house. Hello to Malaysia. My goodness. Who else is in my house? Drace is here. He says, good morning from Springbrook, Ontario, Canada. Gotta say, I'm not really sure where Springbrook is. Not really sure where that is, Drace. I don't know. What just happened? Something happened to my chat. Club de Detectorismo Curitiba. Hola and bienvenidos. Right on. Oh my goodness. David McWhorter says, hello, Liz and everyone. Hello, David. Right on. My goodness. Coin Junkie AG also here. Joe Copperheads. Thank you, Joe, for joining. I do appreciate that. Who else is in my house? Mayor Videos. Whenever you see that little cowboy hat emoji, that is Merlin. Who else? Wow, something happened to my chat. I'm not sure what happened. David McWhorter says hello from Cape Breton. Ooh, never been there. Never been there. SNR Treasure Extractors Extraordinaire. Hey Liz, we changed our channel's name. I love that you included extraordinaire. I really like that. Oh my goodness. Nova Scotia. David McWhorter. Nova Scotia. Right on, right on. Straight up metal detecting tripwire also in the house. Now, I think I've said hello to everybody. If I missed saying hello to you individually, just put an @DiggingCanuck in your comment and it will highlight on my side and I will say hello to you personally. I think we had somebody else just join us. Drace says he is north of Belleville. All right. Thank you. Cameron Masser is in the house. Cameron, thank you for joining. I do appreciate that. All right, all right, all right. Now, my special guest today is Leon from ZARRPS Metal Detecting in South Africa. Let me just let's just unmute these mics and let us bring Leon into ta-ta-ta. Leon.
Hey Liz.
How are you?
Can you hear me? Can you see me? I'm well.
I can totally hear you. I can totally see you. My goodness.
Right.
Welcome to Coffee with Liz, Leon.
Thank you so much, man. It's awesome to finally be on this show, man. I've been waiting for such a long time.
I apologize for that. I do apologize.
No.
Now,
look, see, I came prepared.
Oh my goodness.
Just for you, Liz.
Right on. Mine
Just
hasn't
for
been
you.
delivered yet, so I'm still waiting for mine, and that is a big fat hint to Mr. Producer. Now, Leon, your channel's name is ZARRPS, and with 2 P's, or sorry, with 2 R's. I really didn't know until I actually had to type it out that you have 2 R's in ZARRPS. But what does ZARRPS stand for?
So, yeah, good question. A lot of people ask us this, and it's actually a nice little play on the word ZAR, so ZAR, which was 𝗬𝗢𝗎𝗪𝗔𝗍𝒡𝗏𝒡𝒡𝒅, so South African Republic Police Force. So, so we took the ZARRPS that I really took a liking to, and I changed the name and I said, well, ZAR, Zuid-Afrikaanse Relic Protectors. So ZARRPS for Relic Protectors. And that's what ZARRPS is.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, that's
yeah. So a little funny play on the word. So originally during the Boer War, the guys that know our channel, know that we dig Boer War relics, and the ZARRPS were the police force that were, part of the Boer Republic. So yeah, a nice little play on that word.
Okay. I absolutely had no idea what that stood for.
Yeah, so pretty cool. So in the beginning, it was quite funny when I said, hey, I'm going to call the channel ZARRPS, and it's going to be ZAR Relic Protectors, and the guys went, that's a weird name, but okay. And actually now, that we've been doing it for such a long time, people really like the name, and they go, oh, that's so cool. I understand now where it comes from, and everybody calls us ZARRPS, and it's really nice. So it's something catchy, and it worked out, so we're happy.
Yes, and you can, and the fact that you can actually throw a bit of history into your channel name, I think is really, really cool. Very cool.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, for sure.
Now you have a relatively newer YouTube channel, relatively new, but I have a funny feeling that you've been metal detecting long before your YouTube channel ever came about. Is that true?
Yeah, 100% true. So the channel's been up for just under a year and a half that we've had the channel, but I've been detecting for probably 6-7 years. So not that long, but long enough. So I've been around, and I've picked up a few things. So yeah.
So when 6 or 7 years, was there something that piqued your interest about metal detecting, or how did your interest in metal detecting come about?
Weird story. So one year, my wife and I said, well, we knew we were going to get a little Christmas bonus or end of year bonus from the work, and I don't know how we just got to it, but we just said, why don't we get a metal detector and go to the beach and try and find some treasure or whatever, that'll be fun, something different, completely different to do.
Yes.
So I was like, well, that's a nice idea or a different idea. So started Googling, checked out a few people. I got to Minelab first, and then that opened up a whole world of, how can I say, clubs or people or the metal detecting community. And it wasn't just restricted to beach hunting. And then I saw guys going to these Boer War sites and these frontier war sites, and they were finding relics. And it wasn't just, coins and the normal stuff that you would imagine, jewelry and that type of thing. And so anyway, we went out, we both got ourselves a metal detector. And we started off with the Minelab Xterra 505 from Minelab. And man, I think I was in my yard playing, and my fourth hole, I actually dug a gold ring with a little chip of a diamond. And so you can just imagine, if you really want to get bitten by the bug, that's how you do it,
Wow.
Yeah.
Does your wife still detect?
No, she doesn't detect anymore. I think she went out a few times in the veld or in the bush with me, and she just decided, no, this is not going to work for her. So, she didn't carry on with the hobby. She still enjoys the hobby because I enjoy it, and well, I hope so, because I get home and I say, look at this button, look what I found, and look at this badge, and this is a bullet from whatever, and she's like, that's amazing. And I'm sure she probably thinks that's retarded, but she's happy because I'm happy.
So is it safe to say that she gets all the jewelry that you find?
No, I keep all the nice stuff. I keep the nice stuff.
My
I
goodness.
think if I was detecting on the beach and we were picking up gold rings and earrings or whatever, I think that might have been a different story. But we're not that lucky. So we do find some rings every now and again, but they're normally copper or brass. And,
okay.
So that goes into my display cabinet safely.
So then you've been detecting for about 6 or 7 years, and then so what made you create your YouTube channel? Are there other channels from South Africa out there, or were you watching some other channels and you just tell us about that?
So there was one channel that really stood out. He's no longer active. I think he posted, his last video was posted about 6 years ago. His name is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. There's actually a few people that know him.
I think I know
really
that
well,
name. I think I've heard that name before.
Yeah, so 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 was really active on YouTube. He had a nice channel, and just for some reason he stopped. I don't know why. I never met him. I think I've spoken to him once or twice, maybe on Facebook, on the groups and that type of thing. But I was really into his channel. So I watched his channel, and I watched a bunch of other channels, probably all the channels that you guys watch, all the big guys. I'm a big fan of the Hoover Boys, and I just really, and obviously Green Mountain is, it blows my mind. I love Brad. And I was so excited, when I start throwing super chatzlers, that I'm like a kid on Christmas, So when you had Brad on your channel, I was like, yes, Brad, I love. So so I watched, that was awesome. So I watched Green Mountain, and I watched these channels. I got some incredible finds with some of my friends. I started digging with my good buddy 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗔𝗟𝗑 that you see on my channel all the time. I call him a miserable 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗔𝗟𝗑, but he's not really. He's awesome, but he just looks really mean and miserable. But he's not. He's a teddy bear. And so him and I started going out detecting, finding really cool relics, and posting it on different groups, and people were going, wow, where are you finding this? And this is incredible. And then I started taking, small little clips to show people, that we're digging up these relics. And I just think I just decided I'm going to start the channel, So this was born, I guess. So I did a few videos, like all of our first videos were shaky, and you don't really know what you're doing, and you're camera shy, and you just try and put something together. And people really liked it. People really wanted to see where we go, what we do. They wanted to know the history, and so ZARRPS just carried on, and we keep on posting videos every Monday.
Now, is metal detecting in South Africa like a big thing?
No, it's not a big thing. It's starting to become a really big thing. It's a very small community. So metal detecting in South Africa, the majority of guys are on the beaches. So I'm not close to a beach, unfortunately, but the majority of guys are on the beaches, coin shooting and jewelry and rings and that type of thing. And then you have this really small group of people that went out and did relic hunting, like we do. And, with the channel I've got a company that works and really helps out the channel called Metal Detectors South Africa, John. Incredible guys. So they, we're affiliated with them. And since they came on the scene, they've really been concentrating on boosting the hobby, pushing out new brands of machines. Really, he's also got a great channel. Since that started, I think in the last year, there's been so many new people jumping into the hobby and wanting to, detect, which is great. That's awesome.
Oh, absolutely. Now on your very first and second video, because I go back and check these things, but you posted about I believe you were promoting a group dig. Now, at the end of the second video, there was a photo of all of the people that were on the dig. There was one lady. Is metal detecting not very popular with the ladies, or?
I don't think it's not really popular with the ladies. I think I think the community is just so small that you don't have as many ladies wanting to join the hobby or that find out about the hobby, but there are a lot more getting into the hobby. I mean, I've just made a new friend the other day. She's down at the coast, and I helped her out with the machine, and she's really keen and got into the hobby. So there's a couple of people, of women that I know that are getting into the hobby and enjoying it. But I think up here where we are, I mean, the conditions are really rough, Liz. I mean, it's not just park hunts. I mean, we really go into the bush, and it's extremely hard ground, and it's rocky, and it's dangerous, and with men, it's a bit more convenient, so we don't just have a place where you can go to the loo, for instance. I mean, so if you're in the middle of nowhere, what do you do? So, it's not always practical, and I think they worry about that and, getting their hands too dirty. But there's some hardcore people. So the lady you're referring to, her name is Petra. She's amazing. I love her. Her husband's name is Dion. I give him so much shite, but I love him. So when I love her too, and when I see them together, I'm all over her, and I just try and make him jealous. But they're amazing. We're a really cool group of people.
Right on. Now, I would say in the majority of your videos that it looks like you're on like Mars or something, metal detecting. Your area it's very inhospitable. There's very seldom do I see any hint of greenery.
Yeah, so it does get a bit rough. A lot of the places that we go out to is remote, but there's a lot of cattle, so they graze. So there's a lot of cattle, so they graze, and that's also one of the reasons why the ground is so extremely hard in some areas. So it does seem a bit bleak, and every now and again, different areas where we go to, if there hasn't been a good rain season, it gets a bit dry, and it gets a bit, it looks a bit rough. So yeah, that one scene that you're referring to as the Mars looking like scene, that's actually a really old mining camp. And these guys used to dig quarries and take out rocks and build their foundations and all that. So it looks it's a lot different to what you guys are digging.
Now I don't want to sound stupid or dumb with this next question, but do you have green spaces there?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
No, we do.
Okay.
So we've got plenty. No, geez, thank God we
Okay.
do. No, we do. We've got
Okay.
plenty of parks and it's now, like I said to you earlier, we're going into winter, and so what happens here normally is when the winter months start. Excuse me. The guys. So we call the bush a veld. We call it veld.
Okay.
It's just like a Dutch term for like bush or whatever. So when it gets really dry, for some reason, there's a lot of veld fires. So the grass in these fields burn down, and as soon as we get that first rains, it looks amazing. Everything just turns green.
Okay.
Everything turns green. You have all these flowers coming up, and it really changes everything.
Oh, okay.
You know?
So yeah, all right, because I don't see too much green in your videos.
So I'll try and take some more B-roll of flowers and that type of thing, just for you.
Oh, jeez. Now, are you able to detect all year long?
Yeah. For the most part, we dig all year round. This is the worst part. That transition from summer going over to winter is probably the worst months to dig because the grass is just insanely long. So the last couple of videos, the guys that follow the channel just hear me complaining about the grass, but it's really like a meter tall, if not more. Wow. So it's crazy trying to get in there and get your coil down to the ground, So you scout and you're finding new spots, but you just know that you're missing a lot of targets. So yes, you do. There's plenty of places that we can dig all year round. Just some spots get a bit rough with the grass. So now, the ideal time is just after winter.
So okay, because I would imagine that it's better temperature anyways. But what are your extremes in temperature? Like, what's your summer max, and then your like winter, I guess, cold?
So where I am, summer months, we can go up to about 40 degrees Celsius, maybe even more, depending. We were last year, December, we did the epic part 1 and part 2 hunts, amazing videos and stuff that we found. We were in the Northern Cape, and there the temperatures can go up to 45 to 50 degrees Celsius, which is just crazy. It's just insane. It was so hot that Carl was down there with me, and oh man, if we didn't have air conditioning in the car and in the place that we stayed, we would have died. It was madness. Digging for 2 hours, and then you want to pass out. And then the winter months, not too bad. We can go into the maybe -2, -3 degrees there, about maybe a little bit more. But generally speaking, anything between 10 and 15 degrees Celsius max.
Wow.
So that's not too bad.
That's not bad at all. I just want to say, I just saw a comment in the chat. Dirt Diggers UK, God bless you. God bless your soul, you wonderful human being, for that comment. Thank you. Oh my goodness, Dirt Diggers UK.
Which one was that?
Oh my goodness. Liz looks younger every time I see her. Oh my goodness. Wonderful. Now I just want to say that I know that there's I am one of them, and I saw some comments in the chat as well. You talk a lot about this in your videos as well as your relics from the Boer War. Can you just kind of give us a brief history lesson on what the Boer War is? Like, who were the combatants, and like, when this all happened?
Yeah, sure. So the Boer War, we had 2 Boer Wars. So the guys that don't know what a Boer means, it's basically a farmer. The word Boer means farmer.
Oh.
And the Boer Wars were, the first Boer War in South Africa was 1880, and it only lasted, I think, about a year, if that, or a couple of months. And the Boers actually, and that was between the Boers and the Brits. So basically in 1830s, I might get this wrong, please don't anybody kill me. I might get the dates a bit wrong, but it was about 1837, 1838, thereabout. We refer to as the 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗓𝗥, which was basically the Boers that were colonized in the Cape of South Africa. they wanted to be independent. So they moved basically up to the north of South Africa, where I am, and they created two independent states called the Transvaal and the state of the Free State. So they created those two independent states, and they settled there. But during this period, they actually found gold in the Transvaal and in those areas. And the wars were basically about gold, control, and greed. There's a lot of debates about what the history is about and why and all that. And I'm not going to get into that in too much detail, but it was basically around gold. So the first Boer War, 1880, the Boers won against the Brits, and then the second Boer War lasted for 3 years. And what's so interesting, that was from the 1899 to 1902, and is still referred to this day as the most humiliating war that the British ever fought. And it was the most expensive war as well. They estimated that the war would take about 6 months, and the war lasted 3 years. So the Boers were incredible fighters. I mean, these were farmers. They weren't soldiers. But they went into this like a guerrilla phase, splitting up and getting away from the British. And like I say, it lasted 3 years. And we saw a good deal of concentration camps in South Africa. Thousands and thousands of women and children died in these camps. So the British, when things didn't go their way, or things, weren't working out for them, they created the scorched earth policy, which was basically a policy set out to burn down all farms and farmland, and women and children and the elderly were then pushed into these prison camps or concentration camps. And these farmers, these Boers, and some of them, they call them penkoppe, which is a Dutch word. It's youngsters from the age of 11, 12 years old, were fighting in this war with their fathers. And they had the saying "vir volk en vaderland," which is also Dutch. It's basically for their families, for their country. That's what they fought for. And so it's crazy. So that's the history that we chase. That's the relics that we dig. And that every piece of history and every relic that we take out of the ground just absolutely tells a story, and that's what's so incredible about what we do on this side, and I'm sure a lot of countries as well, it's the same thing.
Now someone in that is absolutely, I had honestly, Leon, I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea that any of this even happened. So I thank you for sharing that. It's absolutely incredible. Now,
it's a pleasure.
Yeah, someone in the chat asked, Donnie Law says, what about the Zulu War? Is that anything that was down your way? Or?
Yeah, definitely. So the Zulu and Xhosa wars, not where I am specifically, but next week I am going down to a place where there was a lot of frontier wars that happened. So that was against the Zulus and the Xhosa wars. So these were the native people. So when the Boers actually tracked up, in 1838 or 37, up to get to the Transvaal. I mean, this took them months with ox wagons and whatever. This is about 1,000, 2,300 kilometers. And on their way there, I mean, they ran into a lot of Zulu tribes and Xhosa tribes, and they had skirmishes and battles with them. A very famous battle called the Battle of Blood River, which is in KZN, KwaZulu-Natal. And that was a battle fought against the Zulus. An amazing story, a bit long to basically talk about here, but an incredible story. And if you guys really want to go and have a read about the Battle of Blood River, it's incredible. So there was about 300 farmers or Boers against 5,000 or 10,000, I can't remember the number, but a couple of thousand Zulus or natives. And they won. They won this battle. And the long and the short of it is, they went and they had peace talks with the Zulu king at that time, and they said, "Listen, can they have land somewhere?" And he said, "Well, I've got cattle, that got lost. If you guys are prepared to go and find our cattle and bring them back to me, I will give you land. And the Boers did exactly that, went out, found their cattle, brought it back, and they thought that they were walking into a celebration with the king, and they basically walked into a ambush. They got ambushed, and a couple of Boers, generals, and young boys were slaughtered by the Zulu king. And then the Battle of Blood River basically happened, where the rest of these Boers were settled around this river, or close to this river, and they had put all of their ox wagons in a horseshoe formation. And this morning, the Zulus approached them, and it was this massive battle. So just a really funny, not funny, but incredible story that has been passed down over centuries now. Is someone years after this battle actually went to the Zulus and said, because what had happened was, at a stage they all looked extremely frightened and they ran away, because the Boers were like against a little kopje or a hill behind them. And they went afterwards and they said, why did you guys just retreat or throw your weapons down and run away? And they said, no, we saw the reinforcements on the hill. And they said, well, what are you talking about? So the Boers they were really religious, extremely religious. Everything that they did daily was based on their religion. And the story goes is these Zulus explained to the Boers that they saw the reinforcements, all of the white horses on the hill with the soldiers approaching as the sun came up, as the sun started to rise. They saw all of these reinforcement soldiers on their horses dressed in white. And they got so frightened that they threw down their weapons and they ran away. And the Boers said, I'm actually getting goosebumps. The Boers said that they never had any reinforcements. And to this day, they believe that was like a divine intervention. So that's the story in the Battle of Blood River.
Wow.
So really interesting.
That is pretty cool. Now, you see, oh, wow, that's absolutely fascinating. My goodness. So most of the relics, well, not most, but I would say a lot of the relics that we see you find are like Boer War related. Are they not?
Yeah, I would say 90% of our relics are Boer War related. Yeah, so I'm really privileged to be about 20 kilometers from where a lot of action during the Boer War happened. So that's where we go to. We go there, we find old foundations, and we scout and find these areas, and old battle sites, and that's what we dig.
Now, these battle sites, I take it they're not regulated by any sort of government branch or anything like that?
Yes and no. So, I say this a lot. It is a bit of a grey area in South Africa. So we do have a specific act in our constitution or in the law that protects heritage sites and archaeological sites and any finds of significant value or historic value. But it's a grey area. So a lot of the places that we go and dig is either private property or, it's open fields. There's no connection or heritage sites or anything that we go and dig. There are plenty around, but that's taboo. So we don't go to those sites.
Now, so you've what metal detector are you using currently? You said you were Mine Lab, but then I thought you were 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗓𝗏, and I think you're Deus now. What's going on with Leon's metal detectors?
I've got so many machines. I've used so many machines, Liz. So yes, I started off with the Mine Lab 𝗥𝗔𝗓𝗏 505. It was a great machine, great entry level machine or machine to get into the hobby. Quickly outgrew that machine. Then I went and I started with the 𝗥𝗢𝗎𝗪𝗔, or I think I had the Nocta Impact. Okay. I got the Nocta Impact machine, which is a really good machine. Love that machine. A lot of settings, all of that. Then I went on to the Cruiser, the multi-cruiser. And then from there, I went over to the Amphibio. Love the Amphibio. I still rate the Amphibio Multi as one of the best machines on the market, for hobbyist detectorists like us. But at the moment, I'm specifically using XP. I'm loving XP. That is just blows my mind. So I'm using the 𝗙𝗓, also use the ORX from time to time, depending on where I'm going and you know what I'm digging. And I also have the 𝗦𝗛𝗢𝗪𝗡𝗏𝗪. So it just depends on the situation, you know. So if I'm beach detecting, I'll use the simplex. But for the relics, I'll go out and use the ORX or the 𝗙𝗓. Incredible machines.
Yeah. So then you're not. I don't think I would say you're brand loyal, but you just use the detector that is right for the job. Is that right?
Yeah, 100%. So look, I mean, I am affiliated. I am also affiliated with Team XP South Africa. So XP has grown tremendously in South Africa. The brand, it is really out there. It's really gaining traction. So I've teamed up with MDSA, and we've created a group of really experienced detectorists using the XP machines. And we've created Team XP South Africa to really get the XP brand out there. And the only reason is I don't get any, you know, how can I say, kickbacks necessarily or whatever from that brand. You know, I'm affiliated with this company because they support the channel. And if I need whatever, if I need a Fisher machine or this machine or that machine, or I would like to check out a piece of gear or whatever, then they say, no problem, Leon, you know, have a go. If you like it, let us know, and then we'll work a deal for you, which works for me, which is great, you know, having that opportunity. But I really love the XP machines. The 𝗙𝗓 is incredible. The ORX is incredible. And I use it because I think at the moment, it's the best for what I do and where I dig.
Right on.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, what do you dig more coins? Do you dig more bullets? Do you dig more buttons? Or do you kind of just dig everything?
I dig everything. It's you just never know. I think the Boer War sites is very similar to guys in the States that dig, you know, these Civil War sites.
Okay.
So there's a kind of a range. I think you concentrate on maybe more the copper and brass range right up to silver coins type of thing. And that's what you concentrate on. And that's what we do as well. So we dig everything, all buckles, bullet casings, you know, unfired rounds, lead, coins, whatever, you know, whatever that comes into that little sweet spot, we dig. And then you have sites where you just know there isn't a lot of trash, and you know, targets might be very deep. So then you dig absolutely everything, you know. So when you get those scratchy, iffy signals, very low tones, you know, just barely reaching that iron tone, you know, we dig that as well. And you know, sometimes it's a button, sometimes it's junk, and so yeah, it just all depends on where you are, you know. Some sites we just dig absolutely everything.
Right on. What about relic cleaning? Do you do like electrolysis, or do you just kind of leave your relics, just tidy them up a little bit, or what about that?
I do clean some of my relics. I don't like to clean my relics, but you know, if I find a lot of the same buttons, I might clean some of the better condition buttons. You know, I might clean them to put in a display. I've used electrolysis, but electrolysis is very risky. I would only use electrolysis on some iron items. I won't use it on anything else. I used it in the past on some crusty coins, and it just ruined them. But I mean, the guys that follow the channel, again, you know, I've got this brass jeweler's brush, and I can absolutely recommend it. If you guys know where to find a brass brush, not the brass coated brush, but a brass brush, that thing is amazing. It is soft enough that it does not scratch any metal. It just cleans up your item super, super nice. So I use that all the time. You know, in the videos you see me cleaning whatever, a button or a buckle, and it looks nice.
Right on. Do you display your finds, or do you just put them away in a box or something like that?
Yeah, so I've got a few nice displays in my bar, and I've got buy these box frames, and you know, all the nice items that I clean, and I put put them in there, or area specific, I put them in there, and I hang them up against the walls in my bar. So, you know, when I have people over, they see all the stuff hanging on the walls, and it's a nice conversation starter, you know?
Absolutely
So,
is. Absolutely
like,
is.
like my daughter once said to someone at school when they asked, what does your dad do? She says, well, I'm not 100% sure, but he digs up dead people's stuff, you know?
How
So,
cool is that? You must be the coolest dad at school.
I'm sure some of those teachers almost nearly passed out. But
yes,
anyway.
yes. Now, now,
Yeah.
on your YouTube channel, there's a little like a bio of your YouTube channel. I'm just going to read this. It says that this channel is dedicated to all things metal detecting, magnet fishing, bottle digging, and treasure hunting in South Africa. Do you get out do you get out magnet fishing and bottle digging often?
Not that often. I wish I did go out more often. The guys that I dig with aren't that much into bottle digging, but I've got quite a nice collection of bottles that I do have. Some of them I dug myself. Some of them, I've bought from other people's collections. And
Right.
in South Africa, we've got guys called 𝗤𝗢𝗪𝗪s. So 𝗤𝗢𝗪𝗪s, these guys are illegal miners. So some of them are really, really dangerous. It's a bit risky. So these guys, they armed, and it's illegal mining. But some of these guys are really innocent, and they do their thing. And every now and again, these guys hit an old bottle dump. And when I go to these guys or I see them, I actually ask them, listen, do you find any bottles? Have you got anything? And if they do have bottles, then I actually buy the bottles from them. And I think they actually make more money from selling some of these old bottles to me than what they do actually digging for gold or panning for gold. We do go out magnet fishing every now and again. We do go out bottle digging if we do have a nice dump, but not as often. I had a very bad experience with my magnet fishing not too long ago, so I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon.
Okay, all right. I get it.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard that story, but it wasn't nice. But in any case, I lost a very expensive magnet, and I had to try and fish it out in the river, and it just wasn't nice.
Yeah, see, that is my greatest fear, because magnets aren't cheap by no means.
They are not cheap. They are bloody expensive.
Yes.
And I've got two, and I've got this. Of course, I've got the smaller one. The big expensive one I lost because that's how the big guy upstairs has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
But so I had this. Carl and I, my wingman Carl, him and I went out and we went magnet fishing. So let me tell you the story. And I took out this big double-sided magnet.
Oh, boy.
Because the nice thing about a double-sided magnet is it doesn't matter how you throw it in the water. Either side it lands. You've got a chance of picking something up.
Yes.
Yes. The other magnet is single-sided, and it's kind of has the bottom, and the rope is at the top. So if you throw it and it kind of lands on its side, it doesn't work that well. So we went to this river at an old bridge, a lot of Boer War relics that we got out in this area, and we thought, oh man, let's go. Maybe we find some weapons, and I don't know what all else. And threw in the magnet probably about 6, 7, 8 times, and at one stage, my magnet just caught hold of something. Probably a rock, or I don't know, a tank, and I just couldn't get this damn magnet off. I couldn't get it off, and I was pulling, and I was walking to the side, and then I was this side, and I was refusing to let go of this magnet. And I said to Carl, I said, bud, I need to, I don't know, I'm gonna get undressed, I'm gonna go in with my undies, and I'm gonna get into this godforsaken river, and I'm gonna get my magnet. And we had hectic rains just the week before, and the river actually looked fairly calm. So he says, okay, no problem. So I say, well, just hold on to the rope just in case that I don't He's like, yeah, okay, no problem. And I say, just watch the farmer or whoever doesn't come out. And, I am in the river with nothing on except for, my undies. So long story short, get undressed. I'm in the river. Man, I think I took 2 steps and I went from this deep to this deep.
Wow.
And Leon is gone. Boom.
Wow, yeah.
And the what do you call it? The current was so strong that Carl got such a fright that he saw me the first second, 1 second he saw me, the next second I was about 10 meters away.
Wow.
And he was holding on to this rope and I was on the rope and he's pulling me back. Oh man, and I think we struggled for probably about an hour to try and get this damn magnet out of this river, and it was horrible. So we just called it, we took the rope, we hid it away, and we just said maybe one day when the river dries up a bit, we'll go back and go and find it. And he just wanted to take out his camera and take footage, and I just put the fear of
man
God
dies
in his eyes.
retrieving magnet. Yeah. And how much did that magnet cost you? Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I wasn't happy about it, but it is what it is. So I lost that magnet, or it's still there. Maybe I'm lucky. Maybe
it's still there.
I'll do a video. Yeah, maybe I'll do a video where I go and retrieve my long lost magnet that almost caused my death.
Wow.
But it's a funny story.
My goodness.
Anyway.
Wow. Crazy.
So I'm not a fan of magnet fishing. I should change my bio and say occasional watching of magnet fishing videos.
Yeah. And it seems to be hit and miss whenever people are successful in bringing stuff up. It's usually junk. It's usually
it is
junk.
Because it only picks up iron. So. You have these delusions of grandeur where you think, you're going to throw in your magnet and you're going to pull out. Because, let's be honest, how many videos do you watch on YouTube where a guy went magnet fishing and pulled out a massive safe?
Yeah.
How many safes are there?
Yeah.
Who just throws in a safe in a river or in a dam? Come on.
That's full of money. That's full of money. I know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about. But it's funny. And we will still click on that video and watch it.
I know.
Pulled out something incredible with my magnet and click on it.
I know. I know. All right, let's. Had Steve Shepard in the chat asked a question, and I meant to ask this earlier, but when you're out in the what did you call it? The moss? Did you call it the moss or the velvet? What did you call that? The scrub? Your like bush area. What did you call it earlier?
Oh, the felt.
That's it, the felt. Okay. So when you're out in the felt and when you said that it got like a meter high sometimes. What about wildlife stories? You must have had some amazing encounters with wildlife. Like, hello, you're in South Africa, right?
Yeah, so it's not as wild as you would imagine. I think a lot of people think that we are metal detecting and every now and again dodging a lion or a leopard or an elephant.
Aren't you?
But we're not. No, we're not. So we do have some really nice wildlife, but the areas that we are in, no, there aren't any rhinos or big game or anything like that. Most of the big game are in the reserves. Like the Kruger National Park and some reserves, some private reserves. So there's very few. There are some farms, some really big farms in some areas that do have leopards on their farms that they battle with, that kill their cattle and their livestock. But where we are, no. I think I say this all the time. I think the biggest threat we have in the veld is the cattle.
Really?
That's it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And these guys are big, Liz. Don't make a mistake. They are scary. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a wimp, but these boys are big.
Oh, I'm afraid of cows. Yeah, I'm afraid of cows. Cows, cattle. I don't like to be anywhere near them because you just never know.
No, they're so unpredictable, and they always have this crazy look in their eyes. you know. So we were digging the other day in this area, and so the herders, you know, they normally if it's a big herd of cattle or whatever, there's 2 or 3 herders with their dogs. So they let them graze, and we were in this area. So now I'm watching the cattle, okay, and I'm spotting all the big boys. I'm like, okay, so there I'm not going to go. He's walking there, so I'm going to go that way, you know. So I'm watching them, and at one stage I kind of misjudged where the cattle were, and before I knew it, they were like right by me. And they were nervous seeing me as well because, you know, they obviously they don't know who I am or whatever.
Yeah.
And they started moaning. So they were like, let's say 20, 30 meters away. And these guys are like, you know, and I'm going, okay, dude, like, what do you want me to do?
Wow.
So now I'm standing still, you know, and the one guy starts complaining, and then the other guy starts complaining. And I have all these cattle complaining because now I'm in their way, you know. And it was funny. So that's the worst that we deal with.
Have you ever been chased by a cow or a bull or something?
No, because I'll pass out. I'll probably die. No, luckily not.
Oh my goodness.
No, I mean they're harmless. Well, I think they're harmless. Well, that's what they say. They say they're harmless.
Yes, everyone says that they're harmless, but you know what?
No, some of these, like I say, I mean, there's some of them that you can see are harmless, and you know, like the cows or whatever. But every now and again, you get this big bull, you know, and he's humongous. He's humongous.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not gonna go and you know, if that guy says moo, I'm moving. You know, so more than happy to do that. No problem.
Well, and it's like you don't know if that, like with the pinpointer or the metal detector, just that noise, you never know if it's going to set them off. You just never know. I don't know.
Exactly. And I mean, the guys I detect with, you know, they don't have the best attitude. So I need to be really careful, you know. I'm kidding.
Oh my goodness. What about, so like, do you have snakes there? Like when you're in like the grass 1 meter tall, do you have snakes?
Yeah. Every now and again, we do run into a snake or two. For the most part, you know, they more scared of us than we are of them. So every now and again, when we pick up snakes or we see a snake, it's normally a harmless snake, like a you know, constrictor or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I mean the dangerous snakes. We've got puff adders, which are vipers. They are quite well, they're deadly. But you know, when you're walking around with your detector making a noise, they they disappear before you even know that they were there.
That's true.
So no, it doesn't really become a problem.
Wow, gotta say, I seriously thought that we were going to share some, or that you were going to share some stories about like lions and like, oh my goodness, monkeys. Do you have monkeys?
We do, yeah. So, I mean, maybe I'm being a bit boring, and I apologize. Because we're so used to it. But yes, we do have monkeys, and we do have baboons, big baboons. And these guys are wild. I mean, they will attack you, but it's not that often. You know, the stuff that we do run into a lot are porcupines, big porcupines, big porcupine burrows, and jackals or fox burrows. You know, we run into. So I think. Yeah, like I say, I think we're just used to it, but we do run into a lot of wildlife. I think a lot more than what you guys do. You know, we've just gotten used to it. So you know, we've got small game, and we've got little, like I say, little foxes, and every now and again, actually more often than not, you know, you're walking around and you're so zoned in, and then you have this rabbit jump out of nowhere, and then you just about. You know, like I say, pass out because you don't expect it. So that happens, but nothing major. We're not close to any big game.
All right, I get it. Now you've also you've dabbled in live streams. How do you like that? You've done some yourself.
I have, yes, yeah. I wish I had more time to do it. It takes a lot of effort. It's a lot nicer being on someone else's live stream, Liz. Because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and you know, you're concentrating on your guests, and you're concentrating on everybody's mics being You know, everybody can hear them and the levels are right, and then there's comments coming through. And look, I mean, I enjoy it. I've had a couple of live streams, and I will be doing a lot more. But for the most part, yeah, I try and concentrate on you know, the continuous episodes every week, and every now and again doing the tips and tricks. I really enjoy doing tips and tricks videos, and because I really enjoy helping people, you know, get to know their machines and that type of thing. I really enjoy that, you know. So I get involved with a lot of community digs and day hunts, and we've just launched MOAH, MOAH, which is abbreviation for the mother of all hunts. So MOAH is a provincial hunt in South Africa that we've just kicked off. We'll be having the first MOAH hunts this year. Group of guys and ladies that come together, anything between 15 to 25 people, you know, getting together and having a good time, sharing stories and digging and sharing finds, and you know, there's prizes, and that's really nice. I really enjoy that. So with the live streams, yes, because I love the community. I try and be on your live stream this time of the day. It's Sunday afternoon. It's just as I come back from my hunt. So it's perfect, you know, watching your stream, and then I'll watch Marlin's stream, and I'll watch this guy's stream, and so that I really enjoy, you know. The community is I enjoy that. It's nice.
Right on. Now what we're gonna talk a little bit about relics and stuff that you found. What would you consider to be your best find ever? Could be a coin, doesn't matter what it is. Best one that you've ever found.
It's a hard one, Liz.
Sorry.
I found that's a hard one. I'm gonna try and show you something, if I can. Can I share my screen, Liz?
I don't know. Nobody's ever shared their screen. I don't know. We can try.
I'm gonna try. If I mess it up, I'm sorry. I want to show you guys something that I found.
Let's try.
That I found last week. It's going to be on tomorrow night's episode, so please go and have a look at it. It's really, really cool. I'm going to share a photo with you, which I consider very cool.
Oh my goodness, this is the first for the stream. Go ahead, try.
Is it?
Yeah, nobody's ever shared anything on this platform.
Oh, I hope I don't mess it up. I hope I don't share something I shouldn't be sharing. If you see something, just cut my feed or something. Dear Lord.
I'll have the BRB ready.
Okay, let's see. Maybe I'm going to do my entire screen. Maybe I should do that. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell me what you see, Liz. Do you see this?
I see you.
Did you see me?
Yes. Oh, okay. Hang on. No, there's something here. Let me add this to the okay. I've like I said, I've never done this before. It says add to the stream. All right. So we're gonna add this to the stream, and I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yes, add it to this. All right. Add it to the stream. Let's see what happens. I'm also gonna click on this just to see.
No, don't you be clicking while I'm clicking. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna add this. Okay. All right.
All right.
Oh my gosh! It shows.
Okay. So hopefully everybody can see that. But so what I'm showing you guys here, so this is my dais controller, okay?
Yes.
And what makes this like such a cool find is you'd notice that this is a round, okay?
Yes.
But it looks unfired, but it's not unfired. So you can actually see there, that's the primer. So you can see it's fired.
Yeah.
You see?
Yes.
So this is a fired round, and I mean, it's hard to see because over here there's a rim. There's a rim around the round, okay, just behind the primer. So that's how you know it's fired. So I was in the video tomorrow night. I'm going to give you guys a bit of a spoiler. I was actually digging this little area where I was picking up all of these live rounds. So I put up the camera and I said, guys, check at this. I'm actually digging a bunch of live rounds and I've got two similar signals. So I'm going to live dig them. I just found it strange that I was digging all of these live rounds. And so I started digging this signal and this popped out and I saw, wait a minute, this is completely different. So what you're looking at is this soldier, this is actually trench art. So this soldier actually took this bullet casing. So this is a 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗔𝗟𝗑, all right? It's a Mauser round which was used primarily or for the most part by the Boers. And I cleaned the back of this round. You can't see it, I'll see if I've got a better picture. But at the back, it actually has a date, 1897. Okay, it has a date.
Wow.
So this person actually made a memento, and he took this empty round, and he made a hole, and he took some wire, like you can see, and he twisted it, and he either soldered or put it through this casing. I don't want to clean it too much because I don't want to damage it. And then he took a normal British 303 tip, and he added it to this bullet casing to make it seem like it's complete.
Oh.
And he wore this around his neck. So he made a necklace from this.
Wow.
So what makes this so special is he actually took this cartridge and he really wanted a memento of probably of the war. So, for some reason, maybe it was a special date on this cartridge. Maybe it was, I don't know, maybe he got shot in the face with this same bullet and he wanted it. I don't know.
Wow.
But
That is
I
cool.
just, yeah, so I'm going to see if I can, here's a different angle of this bullet. You can see.
Oh, hang on. I got to bring it back. Got to bring it back.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, it's okay. There it is.
Yeah, so that's a different angle.
Is there any way you can,
of that
is there
bullet.
any way you can pan to the tip? Or is that it? Yeah.
Let me, so you mean over there? You mean like zoom in even more?
There. Okay. Yeah, because we can't, because just the way I have it configured on my screen, I'm not getting the left side. Of the left.
Okay.
Yeah, there. Okay.
Is that better?
Okay. So this soldier actually added that bullet.
Yeah. So this bullet tip is not the same tip that you would find on a Mauser round. So the Mauser rounds actually had the tip was iron. It had an iron tip.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
so obviously, and because it was fired, the tip was wherever, somewhere else.
Yeah.
Maybe lodged in his leg or something. But he just took a random tip from a British, or maybe he purposefully wanted, a British 303 tip and added to a Boer cartridge that was fired.
Wow.
To have two parts of kind of the war. Does that make sense? Well, that makes sense in my head.
That is. How did you feel when you realized what that was? Isn't that?
So you can see.
Hang on. All right.
Oh, I keep on doing that too, Liz.
No,
Sorry.
I'm doing it, not you. I'm the one that keeps switching up the screens. But okay, we're back to the wow. So is this?
Yeah. So you can see I cleaned it up over there.
Yeah. All right. Wow.
Anyway.
That's incredible.
So yeah, let me stop that.
That is absolutely incredible. Wow.
Yeah, so that I found last week, and it might seem like something really silly or
no.
not as significant.
Oh my goodness,
but,
no.
When I found that, I thought that was really, really awesome. A really cool find.
Yeah.
So yeah, to me that was.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And it's dated too,
really
which
nice.
is, I mean, when you find a relic and you can date it, that's really, really cool.
Mm.
That's, what would be.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my goodness. Had he scratched maybe his number or something in it, that would even been like ultimate. But I guess, we can't be we can't be that lucky, but great find.
So every now and again we do find like bed plates. So some of the soldiers had an actual plate, on the top of their bed. With their regiment name and his regiment number and his initials and surname. We do find stuff like that.
Very cool.
And then you can really do some research and pinpoint the family. So that's really nice.
Yeah.
But I've been lucky enough to find some amazing finds. And not just me. I mean, Kyle, my wingman Kyle and Thijs. Yes, man, those guys find amazing stuff. They find the most incredible relics. Cheeses me off sometimes, but we make good videos.
but and this is what I enjoy the most about digging with buddies or pals is that even if you're not having a very, very good relic day or coin day or whatever, you can always celebrate their finds.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
So Kyle, Kyle again, one of the most iconic episodes that we ever did was the episode that our epic finds for 2020, the 2 episodes that we did last year when Carl actually found those 4 rings. I'm sure you watched that as well. And that was super, 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 super amazing. And what had happened was, just for the guys that didn't watch that video, is we went to the Northern Cape. We were invited by some friends to go and dig a site there. And we went there, and I think it was the second day, Carl went out and we were digging, and he shouted, "I found a ring." And of course, he didn't live dig it because that's what happens. And I run over with the camera, check out the ring, clean it up, and we're all happy for him. And as I'm walking back, I'm about 20 meters away from him, 30 meters away from him. He goes, "Leon, I've got the same signal." And I go, "Well, dig it." He says, "Okay, well, he's going to dig it." And he, at that moment, when we got, it was early in the morning, and when we got to the site, he actually said, "No, he's not going to waste his time. He's going to sit in the car." So I was like, "Okay, well, whatever. We're going to go out for a bit because we were supposed to go to another place." And he then decided, okay, he's just going to take his machine and swing and see how it goes. So he never had his camera equipment on him. So he couldn't live dig. He didn't have his GoPro or anything. So then he shouted to me, he said, "Listen, I've got the same signal." And I go, "Dig it." And man, a minute later, he says, "It's another ring." And I'm like, "No, it can't be." So I put on the camera again, run back to him, looking at the second ring, and we go, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it." And it was about 10, 15 centimeters away from where the other ring was. And he took his machine and he went over the area and he picked up another signal, same signal. So I said, "No, hold on. Let's just let me get the camera out." So I took the camera out. And on the camera, I said, "I'm going to live dig this." And he dug it and he got a third ring. And then it went mental. We couldn't understand. And that ring that he got out actually had words on it, the words Mizpah, which is Hebrew for watchtower, but it actually translates or relates to "May God watch over us" or "over you." And he found these 3 rings right next to each other. And we couldn't believe it. He went over the area again, he picked up another signal, and we dug that signal as well. And he dug a 4th ring, which was about 1 meter away from those 3 rings. And he dug 4 rings in the same area, right next to each other. And actually now, we realize, while I'm talking, I'm actually going to bring up a picture, and I'm going to read an inscription to you, which is amazing. And this is what I love about this hobby. It just blows my mind. Someone the other day found almost like a brooch, a silver brooch. And I'm sorry, Liz, I'm going to do this to you. I have to share this.
That's okay. No, you know what? I'm thrilled that we can still share stuff on this, the way I have things set up, which is amazing. Share.
So I'm going to share this with you.
Yes.
And I want to read this inscription to you.
Bring it up.
It is amazing.
Hang on here. There. Oh, no, that's not it. Let's go this way. All right. Is there any way you can pan a bit to the left?
Oh, to the left. Don't know how to. I can only go up and
okay. All right. That's down. The way you have it.
If I zoom out, can you see that if I zoom out?
Yes, right there.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that, right?
Okay.
So this is a silver brooch that someone else actually found recently, okay? Wow. And he dug this, and it also had the words Mizpah. So we were like, "Oh, that's incredible." And let's, I zoomed in and I said, I want to read the inscription. So it reads, "The Lord watch between me and thee when we are absent from one another." Okay.
Wow.
So that is incredible. And when I actually saw and read this, now we always had the suspicion that those rings might have been purposefully buried together, and it might have been a family, because it was like it was very clear that it was a child's ring, and it was very clear that it was a men's ring that had the words Mizpah, and it was very clear that it was a lady's ring. Especially the 3 rings that were dug right next to each other.
Right.
So we suspected that, because we never knew what that area was. So we suspected that maybe it was like a prisoner of war camp or a concentration camp, or maybe it was a camp where they were waiting to be moved. And when they were told at that moment, perhaps in my head, that, listen, the women and children are going to be moved to the concentration camp, and maybe the husband was moved to a prisoner of war camp, that he actually took their rings, buried it together.
Oh my God. Leon, I just want to tell you, I'm getting goosebumps right now. This is really like,
it's amazing.
Wow.
It is amazing.
Wow.
So let me show you the picture of Carl's rings.
Wow.
Can you see that?
I have goosebumps. Yes.
So these are the 3 rings that were found right next to each other, that Carl actually found. So that's the men's ring that says Mizpah, and on the right-hand side with the flower pattern, you can see that that's clearly a lady's ring.
Wow.
And then the ring next to it, we suspect might have been a child's ring. It doesn't look like it, but it is slightly smaller than the other rings. So they were literally buried right next to each other. And we did the research, and we kind of tried to put the puzzle together, but we weren't sure. And when he actually dug that brooch, and it kind of validated, we just knew that this must have been a family separated during the war, where they went to the concentration camp, and the father must have gone to a prisoner of war camp. So it's amazing. It's just incredible.
I am like, if I was to I am covered in goosebumps. That is.
That's crazy.
That is
crazy.
a heck of a story. Holy.
I tell you, to kind of put the puzzle together like that is just, you can't make that up. You can't make that up. It's so powerful, and you go to these areas.
Freaked right now. Totally freaked right now. That is. Wow.
So people go, concentration camp, prisoner of war camp. But when you go to these areas and you dig something like that, it just kind of makes it real. It's really special.
You know what?
I think what these guys went through.
That to me is what metal detecting. It's not about how many silver coins you have. And like I said, you've heard me say this. This is my opinion only. I'm not pushing my opinions on you. I'm just stating my opinion that, to me personally, it's not about how many silver coins someone has dug in a year or anything like that. It's about the story of your 3 rings that possibly could have come from that. I mean, incredible. It's just incredible. Yeah. That's all it is. And it's about being a good steward of the stuff that you find, and it's perpetuating these people's stories and their legacy through, like right now, you're sharing that story with us. It's absolutely fascinating. Fascinating.
Yeah, it's amazing. And, in that clip, you actually see Carl sitting there. His mind is just blown. And, it goes from, wow, I found 4 rings, to, wow, this was someone's family. This was someone's family that went through something incredible. And then, then the emotion comes into play. And you actually see him on camera just sitting there holding his head, and it was and then even after the camera was switched off, we were all just sitting there going, what just happened? How this is incredible. And we discussed what could have been. And we found similar personal items. And to me, that's the most powerful find that you can have, is finding something so personal, like that bullet casing.
Yes.
There's a reason why that person took that casing with that date and wanted to wear it around his neck. He might have had a close encounter, or he might have he might have lost his buddy right next to him, who got killed, or and you read the stories, and you read the biographies and of these soldiers, and all of them say that how useless this war was or is, at that time of he was writing it, and you kind of say to yourself, well, you are so how can I say, you're in such a position where you are told that you need to fight the enemy, and you need to fight for your country, and you need to fight for your family, and you're just following an order, and your enemy is a young guy on the other end of the battlefield who's being told the same exact thing. You are fighting for your country. You have to kill the enemy because he's the bad guy. And many times we read of these soldiers that were taken in or captured as prisoners of war, and they became best of friends. you know,
Yes.
because they knew that it was out of their control and they were just following orders, which is extremely sad to, you know.
Yeah.
Any case.
I know.
The stream is getting very bleak.
All right, well, let's unbleak it. Unbleak it. I think, you know what, that the Four Rings is probably one of your, I think, your greatest episodes. Is the story of the Four Rings is just.
It's going to be tough to trump that.
Well, you know, maybe it doesn't need to be trumped. Trumped. So for everybody out there, after we're done here, definitely check out that video. It's crazy. All right, so let's.
So it's called Epic Finds of 2020 Part 2.
Perfect.
That's where you'll find
Wonderful. It. Now, I think that someone in the chat earlier mentioned something about, and I kind of think you have a video about that mentions voodoo. Have you ever come across any like witchcraft, voodoo, whatever it is that you call it there in South Africa? Have you ever found anything kind of like, you know, bizarro out there?
Yeah, I just did all the time we find creepy stuff. Freaks Carl out all the time. He's very, I won't call him superstitious, but there's certain things that he doesn't mess with and he doesn't like. And then there's some things that just doesn't bother him. But I just did an episode now of some creepy stuff that we found. Unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that we do come across, I don't want to put on the channel because it's a bit gruesome, and I might just have a lot of animal activists on my case about it.
Okay.
But we do get to sites where there are where stuff happened, historical stuff happened, or battles happened, and there's a lot of witch doctors. We call them what do we call them again? Sangomas. We call them Sangomas, which is basically witch doctor. It's a native witch doctor, and they go out and they normally, when they do their hoodoo stuff, you find like white liquor, normally like a vodka or something, some white spirit. And for some reason, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but they take chickens and they slaughter chickens. And this one time we got to an area where, it was weird, where they had taken a bunch of chicken heads that they had cut off, and they had strategically placed, you know, on graves and places.
Wow.
Yeah, on blades, sea blades, and chicken feet, and so I don't know what that's all about, but it creeps me out. Wow. So Carl, you know, when we get to these grave areas, you know, Carl kind of goes, "No, I'm out of here." He doesn't get stuck in. So we don't dig graves. Let me just clear that up. When I mean that, when we get to grave sites, a lot of areas that we find, especially the some of these battlefields, there are graves. You know, graves that people don't know about. So we recognize them as graves because we know what to look for. Yeah. Just in the way the stones are packed and that. So we recognize them as graves. And then Carl disappears, and that's how I know that's a grave. And then, you know, and then on the other side of the coin, you'll see the video that I posted about the witchcraft creepy finds. Might be a little bit clickbaity, but we got to this area and there was this big knife, massive knife, that was just stuck randomly in this anthill, and there was some stuff around it. So I found that a bit weird. But yeah, they walk around and they take modern clad, like 1 rand and 2 rand coins, which is like your pennies or whatever, or quarters. And so they take that modern clad, and I think if they do their prayers or if they do whatever, their hoodoo stuff, they just throw these coins in the field. So we pick up those coins. I don't take them. I leave them in the ground, so you actually see that in one of the clips. So I find the coin and I put it back because I don't want anything following me home. And Kyle picks up the coins and he goes, "Ice cream money." Yeah, awesome.
Turn something.
He takes the coins.
You know what? Turning something voodoo-ish into ice cream is, you know, okay. All right.
No, and then so he's like, "Nah, I don't believe in that crap." You know, but if there's 10 stones that just kind of looks like it could be a grave, you know, he disappears. So it's quite funny. But yes, we do run into weird stuff like that all the time.
Right on.
All the time.
God. Right on. So so we're kind of getting towards the end, and I usually have some wrap-up questions that we that I usually ask. Now, have you ever found gold out there in the moss or the velvet?
In the felt.
Oh, felt. Why can't I remember that?
Close enough. Close enough.
Okay. In the
just
felt.
the bush. In the bush.
Okay, in the bush. Have you ever found any gold?
We have, yeah, we have. Not very often, but I haven't yet. I'm not in the gold club yet, in the gold coin club yet. But yeah, the guys find gold coins all the time. Sovereigns, half sovereigns. We call Ponder, Creer or Kruger pounds or whatever. Not the Kruger millions that most of you might know of or have heard of in the past, but we do find British sovereigns. So you know, a lot of the soldiers or officers were paid in sovereigns or half sovereigns or whatever.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, they are found quite often.
Okay.
But I haven't been lucky enough. But one day
you're probably going to go find one tomorrow, probably.
Awesome.
if money was no object, is there a metal detector that you're kind of curious about, or you're just happy with your Deus right now?
I'm really happy with the Deus. I think that again, I think the Deus is an amazing machine. I really encourage everybody to just at least go try it out. You know, have a swing. I mean, you know, you've used the ORX for a bit or a while. That I saw, Liz. I know you're back you're onto Fisher now. But I know you use the ORX.
Yes.
And the ORX has got some of its downfalls. You know, it doesn't necessarily like trashy areas too much, or that's been my experience. But for a relic machine and as a gold machine, it's an incredible machine. So I enjoy the Deus. I would like to use or get a feel for the CTX 3030 from Minelab. Just out of curiosity, I think. Well, I'm making an assumption. I think that it might be maybe a bit old technology or older technology. Maybe I'm making an assumption, but I'm really curious. I'd love to swing one of them to kind of get stuck in to see, you know, what it's really capable of and how does it stack up. Because in terms of price, you know, how does it stack up compared to the Deus? That's half the price, you know, but still a really expensive, or I consider a fairly expensive or pricey machine, you know. But other than that, I am really excited. I heard rumors about 𝗥𝗢𝗪𝗪𝗪 bringing out a multi-frequency machine, or we know that they are bringing out a multi-frequency machine because there has been some updates. So I'm really excited to see what they bring out because I'm the biggest 𝗥𝗢𝗪𝗪𝗪 fan. I think they do incredible work. And you know, you never know. Maybe XP does something too. You know.
Wow,
maybe.
I think XP would really have to like bring like almost alien technology to kind of update or upgrade or better the Deus.
I agree, because how do you, if you've got, it might be cheeky of me, but if you've got that I consider probably one of the best machines out there for the hobbyist detector or detectorist, I mean, you know, what do you change? So the only thing I would imagine you would change is doing what everybody else is doing, and that is making it multi-frequency or simultaneous frequency, I would say, making it completely waterproof, even though it does have a kit, and maybe making it a little bit more beach friendly, because I don't think the Deus or the ORX, again, I'm making an assumption because I don't detect on the beach, but I don't think they are as beach friendly as some of the, like the Equinox or the 𝗥𝗢𝗪𝗪𝗪 machines or whatever, or even White's, those machines. I don't think they were meant to be, even though they are, you know, they do have beach settings. So yeah, it would be, I'd be really curious to see if they would bring something out, you know. So at the moment, 3030, and the 𝗥𝗢𝗪𝗪𝗪 machine that's coming out.
Fair enough. Now, is there any place on the planet that if we could just, like, you know, put you in a time machine and go to, is there any other place on the planet that kind of appeals to you that you would like to metal detect? Get away from the bush?
Yes. Get away from the velvet for a change.
The
Yes.
velvet.
I would I would love to go to the UK. I've been hinting to the wife that I would love to go to the UK. I would really love to go to the UK. I would really love to go and dig some Roman artifacts, Roman coins, because our history is kind of, especially where I am, is like 100 and maybe 150 years old if you're lucky, you know. So finding a coin of 1850s and earlier is almost impossible. You know, so that's where our range is. So we pass out from finding coins 150 years old. They finding coins 2,000 years old. I mean, that blows my mind. You know. So I would love to go to the UK and dig there, and then I would love to go and dig some proper World War II sites, like in Germany and those areas. So like what's General Dig Hole? Know him? Little plug. I love his videos. He finds some. Wow, the stuff he's found and continues to find is amazing. So not that old, but very, very cool stuff. So that's the two things I'd love to do.
Right on. Good stuff. Now,
definitely.
Now, Leon, did you ever, when you first created your YouTube channel, did you ever in a million years dream that you'd have, like you've just reached, or I guess you're over 1,000 subs, onwards to 2. Did you ever think that was going to happen?
1,000 subscribers? No, never. I didn't. No, it's crazy because it's such a. I was gonna look for one of those party poppers that you pop and confetti. I was gonna do it on your live stream. I couldn't find one. Just to say that I reached 1,000 subscribers last week.
Congratulations!
I was so happy.
Super congrats! Right on.
Really, thank you. It is so cool. I mean, we never thought that we would hit 100 subscribers. You know, because the community is so small.
Yeah.
You know, so when we hit that 1,000, it just it blows my mind. I'm really happy, and it's so small of a milestone, but to us, it's huge.
Oh, 1,000 is huge.
Means we can share, you know, our history and just get it out there. So we're over the moon. The 3 Musketeers. It's not just me. It's myself. It's Carl and it's Tace. We work really hard on finding places and researching the history and, you know, bringing you guys episodes. So
wonderful.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Super duper wonderful. And it's not just the South African community. Because of the internet, it's like the planet is your community, and it's just, and there's people all over the world, and they're seeing you guys dig in the velvet or whatever, the moss or whatever, and you know what? It's just
yeah.
You know, and you become of that friendly face to them, and I have no doubt in my mind that you're gonna get to 2,000 and then beyond. No doubt in my mind.
You know what? It's so cool, Liz, because the community, number one, is super cool. You know, it's yourself. It's seeing someone like Green Mountain Metal Detecting blows my mind, because the guy is so big on YouTube with the amount of subscribers that he has, and you know, seeing that he gets onto live streams is amazing, and it's so nice to see. You know, for us being so small, getting fan mail is wild. It seems so silly, but you know, there's youngsters that I realize are watching our channel, and you know, I'll show you. Just the other day, maybe he's watching, but I sent him this. So he sent me he sent me a message, or his mom sent me a message on Facebook. Said, listen, her son, his name is Herman, he loves the channel, he's the biggest fan, and you know, he would really love if you could share some of his finds. And I just thought it was amazing, and you know, I sent a message back and I said, you know, thank you for watching, and you know, thank you for being so young and appreciating the history and going out and getting stuck into the Boer War, because otherwise it's just going to get lost, you know. And and then the next thing he says, he says, you know, I actually said, send me your address and I'll send you some stickers, I'll send you some stuff, some merchandise. And then he said, please, can I ask for an autograph by you and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 But on the other side of the coin, you kind of go, there are guys that kind of look at, watch your videos, watch your channel, and they feel so inspired, and you know, see you finding some cool stuff, and they go, oh, I'm going to get out there, I'm going to take my machine, I'm going to dig the whole day, I'm going to save some history, and I'm going to share it with ZARRPS, because, you know, we say, you know, thank you for, you know, coming along, and make sure to join Team ZARRPS, and that's how I see it, you know, it's joining that community and being a part of what we do, and it's really nice. So it's strange, it's bizarre, but I kind of
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So how can people keep up with your antics and your adventures on are you on social media anywhere?
Yeah. So if you go to, I'm going to quickly drop you a link, Liz, which is our link tree. Okay. If you go to our link tree, there's a little, let me go into this quickly for you. If you go to our tree link, it has a tab with all of our socials. So the guys can find us on Facebook. They can find us on TikTok. We started a TikTok as well, which is really nice. So little shorts. I know YouTube is, are you doing any YouTube shorts?
I think I might have posted 5, but they're not metal detecting related. They were just whenever I get like some cool B-roll from vacation or stuff like that.
Okay. So any case, you know, guys are getting into these YouTube shorts that I find quite interesting. So that's why we started the TikTok. Just post these little clips. So I've posted in the link in the private chat, if you want to share that, Liz, so people can actually find everything, all of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, our channel, etc.
There it is. All right. The links are in the chat as we speak. So right on. Leon, it's time to, like, you know, say goodbye, because sometimes we do have to say goodbye. I just want to say it's been an absolute pleasure. I can't tell you how much cool information I have garnered from listening to you today. Wonderful stories, and I urge everyone who is not a subscriber to Leon's channel to head on over, check out some of his videos, and I am fairly certain that you will definitely consider subscribing to his channel. And I just want to say, I haven't said this yet, but I have a funny feeling there were some people from South Africa. Some of Leon's peeps were in the chat, and this is a shameless plug. Maybe you can watch some of my videos. If you like what you see, then I would totally appreciate your subscriptions. Sorry, I had to say that.
ZARRPS approves. Digging Canuck is absolutely one of my favorite channels on YouTube, and every time I see a video, I'm on there, and I make sure to watch. So definitely.
Oh my goodness! Thank you,
Liz. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that you invited me.
Absolute pleasure.
It's so nice chatting to you, and yeah, man, I appreciate the subs as well. You know, and the guys in the community that have been subscribed for a really long time. So yeah, thank you so much.
Right on. So Leon, I am going to switch up the screens, and I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. But thank you again. Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Okay, Liz.
Right on. Take care.
Cheers.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Oh my goodness. That was Leon. And like I said, if you've not checked out Leon's channel, I urge you to do so. I got to say it, like I said, that the story of the family's rings in the concentration camp, that just totally, wow. I was covered in goosebumps. The incredible story. My goodness. If you have an idea for a guest, someone that you think I should be chatting with on one of these Sunday shows, definitely send me an email and I will try to get that person on the show. If you are watching this in the future, that means you're watching the replay. Thank you so much for that. Please consider joining us live one day. We do Coffee with Liz every Sunday, and every other Sunday is when I chat with one of your favorite YouTubers. So right on, right on. I want to thank everyone for joining me today. It has been an incredible stream. Remember to hit the like button as you exit the building if you have forgotten to do so as well. Oh my goodness, bird dog. Hello. Like I said, I just want to thank you all for joining me. I want to thank you all for watching my videos. I want to thank you all for commenting, thumbs up, all that sort of thing. I really appreciate that. Please remember to stay safe. Please remember to stay safe. I seriously want to meet all of you one day. I want to detect with all of you. I want to share stories and snacks and all that sort of thing. So everyone stay safe. I will see you on Tuesday with the video. If you are out metal detecting, I hope that you find an amazing bucket lister, and I'll see you all on the flip side. Have a great day. Get your official 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗓𝗪𝗏 merchandise at Teespring. Mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. Remember that every purchase you make helps to support the channel. Check out the link in the description down below.